Céad Míle Fáilte. Welcome to the Treasured Tales of Ireland, a place where you can come and listen to the many myths, legends, folk tales, and fairy tales of the Emerald Isle, helping to keep the stories of the past alive. My name is MyLinda Butterworth, and I will be your teller of tales. Hope you will join me each week for new stories. If you enjoy my work, please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Additionally, be sure to explore my other story collections for more tales. Now, before we begin, please note that if you are using the closed caption feature of this video, many Irish names may not sound the way that they look, and we have made every effort to pronounce them correctly. Now, let's get started. Today, we continue with the Book of the Fianna, Finn's Helpers, with a story of Black, Brown, and Grey, Part 2 of 4, Episode 31. Finn was hunting one time near Tower of the Kings, and he saw 3 strange men coming towards him, and he asked what were their names. Dubh, and Dubh, and Glasan. Black, Brown, and Grey are our names, they said, and we are come to find Finn, son of Cool, head of the Fianna, and to take service with him. So Finn took them into his service, and when evening came he said, "Let each one of you watch through a third part of the night." And there was a trunk of a tree there, and he bade them make 3 equal parts of it. And he gave a part to each of the 3 men, and he said, "When each of you begins his watch, let him set fire to his own log, and as long as the wood burns, let him watch." Then they drew lots, and the lot fell to Dubh to go to the first watch. So he set the fire to his log, and he went out around the place, and Bran with him. He went farther and farther, till at last he saw a bright light. And when he came to the place where it was, he saw a large house. He went inside, and there was a great company of very strange men in it, and they were drinking out of a single cup. Now, one of the men that seemed to be the highest gave the cup to the man nearest him, and after he had drank his fill, he passed it on to the next, and so on to the last. And while it was going around, he said, "This is the great cup that was taken from Finn, son of Cool, 100 years ago, and however many men may be together, every man of them can drink his fill from it of whatever sort of drink he has in mind for." Dubh was sitting near the door on the edge of the crowd, and when the cup came to him, he took a drink from it, and then he slipped away in the dark, bringing it with him. And when he came to the place where Finn was, his log had burned out. Then it was the turn of Dubh to go out, for the second lot had fallen on him. And he put a light to his log, and he went out, and Bran with him. He walked on through the night till he saw a fire that was shining from a large house. And when he went in, he saw a crowd of men, and they were fighting. And a very old man that was a high place above the rest called out, "Stop fighting now, for I have a better gift for you than the one you lost tonight." And with that, he drew a knife out of his belt, and he held it up, and he said, "This is the wonderful knife, the small knife of division that was stolen from Finn, son of Cool, 100 years ago, and you have to but cut on a bone with that knife, and you will get your fill of the best meat of the world." Then he gave the knife to the man nearest him, and a bare bone with it, and the man began to cut, and there came off the bone slices of the best meat in the world. The knife and the bone were sent around from that man to man till they came to Dubh, and as soon as he had the knife in his hand, he slipped out unknown and hurried back, and he had just got to the well where Finn was when his part of the log burned out. Then Glasan lighted his log and went out on his watch till he came to the house, the same way the others did. He looked in, and he saw the floor full of dead bodies, and he thought to himself, "There must be some great wonder here, and if I lie down on the floor and put some of the bodies over me," he said, "I will be able to see all that happens." So he lay down, and he pulled some of the bodies over him, and he was not long there till he saw an old hag coming into the house, having one leg and one arm and one upper tooth that was long enough to serve her in place of a crutch. And when she came inside the door, she took up the first dead body she met with and threw it aside, for it was lean. And as she went on, she took 2 bites out of every fat body she met with and threw away every lean one. She had her fill of flesh and blood before she came to Glasan, and she dropped down on the floor and fell asleep. And Glasan thought that every breath she drew would bring the roof on his head. He rose up and looked at her and wondered at the bulk of her bodies, and at last he drew his sword and hit her a slash that killed her. But if he did, 3 young men leaped out of her body, and Glasan made a stroke that killed the first of them, and Bran killed the second, but the third made his escape. Glasan made his way back then, and just when he got to where Finn was, his log of wood was burned out, and the day was beginning to break. And when Finn rose up in the morning, he asked news of the 3 watches, and they gave him the cup and the knife, and told him all they had seen. And he gave great praise to Dubh and to Dune, but to Glasan he said, "It might have been as well for you to have left that old hag alone, for I am in dread that 3rd young man may bring trouble to us all." It happened at the end of 21 years. Finn and the Fianna were at the hunting in the hills, and they saw a red-haired man coming towards them, and he spoke to no one, but came and stood before Finn. "What is it you are looking for?" said Finn. "I am looking for a master for the next 21 years, he said. "What wages are you asking?" said Finn. "No wages at all, but only if I die before the 21 years are up, to bury me on Inish Creel, the narrow island." "I will do that for you," said Finn. So the red-haired man served Finn well through the length of 20 years, but in the 21st year he began to waste and to wither away, and he died. When he was dead, the Fianna were in no way inclined to go to Inish Creel to bury him. But Finn said he would break his word for no man, and that he himself would bring his body there. And he took an old white horse that had been turned loose on the hill, that got younger and not older since it pulled out, and he put the body of the red-haired man on its back, and let it take its own way, and he himself followed it, and the 12 men of the Fianna. And when they came to Inish Creel, they saw no trace of the horse or of the body. And there was an open house on the island, and they went in, and there were seats for every man of them inside. And they went in, and they sat down to rest for a while. But when they tried to rise up, it failed them to do it, for there was enchantment on them. And they saw the red-haired man standing before them at that moment. "The time is come now," he said, "for me to get satisfaction from you for the death of my mother and my 2 brothers that were killed by Glasan in the house of the dead bodies." And he began to make an attack on them then, and he would have made an end to them all, but Finn took hold of the Dord Fian, and he blew a great blast of it. And before the red-haired man was able to kill more than 3 of them, Diarmuid, grandson of Dubh, that had heard the sound of Dord Fian, came into the house and made an end of him and put an end to the enchantment. And Finn, with the 9 that were left of the Fianna, came back to Alvin. And here is where I end my tale for today. But I'll be back with more tales, many more tales. Until then, my friends, enjoy the journey. Slán go fóill. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up and comment. It truly helps us.